Hey there, Joshua Grainer, men's health specialist. So you might want to calculate your aerobic efficiency or your aerobic fitness. There are a bunch of different ways to do this. The most technical and most costly is going to be going into a lab and testing your VO2 max. The other way is just using perceived exertion. But one way that I feel is pretty good, and I just call this the quick and dirty method. It's your heart rate recovery. And how we're going to do this is we're going to establish an aerobic base, which is called your zone 2, and then your high intensity, which is going to be your zone 4. And the way to calculate your zone 2 is you take the number 180 and you subtract your age from it. So I'm 45 years old, and so that means that 180 minus 45 is 135. So my aerobic base, my zone 2, is going to be between 130 and 140, right? Hovering right around 135. So if you have a pen and paper, go ahead and do that now. You can pause the video. So now you've got your aerobic base. Now we're going to calculate what your higher intensity zone is, right? In some systems of your zone 5, and other systems of your zone 4, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the heart rate. You just add 20 onto your zone 2. So if for me it's 135, my zone 4 is going to be 155. I actually like to push it a little bit higher, up to 160 or 165. But it all depends on your level of training at this point. So now you've got the two numbers. You've got your high intensity and you have your low to moderate intensity, zone 2, zone 4. Now how this works is whatever activity that you do, excuse me, whether it's cycling, rowing, it's harder to do the swimming, but you definitely can. And running, cycling, rowing, I already said that. All those things. Choose your activity. Establish your aerobic base for about 5, maybe 10 minutes, right? Just get into the groove, get your body warmed up, get into that zone 2. Once you're there and you've been there for about, between 5 and 10 minutes, now it's time to ramp it up. So then push really hard for about 8 to 10 minutes, right? So you're gonna gradually, or not so gradually, climb up to your zone 4, zone 5, right? Which is, again, going to be your zone 2 plus 20, right? So for me, my example is I'm going to start around 130 to 140, and then I'm going to push hard for about 8 to 10 minutes at that 160 beats per minute. And I'm measuring this using a Garmin watch, but if you're using a machine, they have the monitors that you can use. They're kind of accurate. They're not perfectly accurate, but they're good enough. I like the Garmin for a variety of different reasons. But anyways, this isn't a video about Garmin. This is a video about your aerobic efficiency. Then the next thing to do is calculate how long it takes for you to go back to your aerobic base, right? So how this looks is zone 2, 5 to 10 minutes. Push hard for 8 to 10 minutes. And then go back to a moderate to low activity. So if you're running, this would be going to a slow jog or a shuffle, or maybe even a fast walk. And then calculate how long it takes, how long it takes for you to go from that higher intensity heart rate to that zone 2 base. For me, the target that I always go for is between 45 to 50 seconds. So go ahead and try that on your own. If you want any more tips like this, go ahead and subscribe. And I also have what I call a men's health cheat sheet. It's got a whole bunch of information, everything from lab test values, different forms of supplements, different types of training, different ways of calculating your VO2 max, different ways of calculating your body fat percentage, all these different things. And it's a free resource that I make available for my clients and for my subscribers. Okay, have a great day.